trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
When things look bad, it looks like you're not going to make it, and you got to get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good afternoon to Albie. Well done in your win the other night there. And you're the only one that's here so far, but it's an early start for some people. We're here for another match in this year's VP4 2022 10 Ball World Championships here on VP4 TV, and it's a one-loss side match, and it's two guys who've got up for breakfast time in the States. It's 9 or 10 a.m. depending on where they are, but it's Fast Eddie against Onepocketslim in the race to 13, and that will go ahead in about 9 minutes time. I had a message last night from Steve, who decided he was intended to be here for this match, and then when I got home from work and came into the VP4 lobby a couple of hours ago, he then sent me a message to say change your plans, so he won't be here. Although he has said he intends to be here for Friday Night 9 Ball, and I think that's more to have a look at how this break is working now. So Albie predicts 13-9 to Slim. Well, I think if these two guys are both on their game, it could run closer than that. Slim's going to be taking his chances, Eddie will be taking his chances, and it's just going to be down to who comes out on top with the fewest errors. That's the usual story there. And then, of course, the big factor's the break. The usual things, good, bad or ugly. It's just your luck in the day. The other thing is that we have four matches on the schedule. The one that we're talking about just now. The next match is tomorrow evening on the winner's side between Popman and Spectre Dawn. The interesting thing about that is that the loser of that match is going to play the winner of this match. So the loser from that match between Popman and Spectre Dawn comes through to the one-loss side, and they will play whoever wins this match today. The third match on the schedule is Cobra and Machine on the one-loss side. That should be a great match. It's got the potential to be a great match, and that's also at 7 p.m. on Sunday evening, and I'll be there for that one. Cobra, of course, from the UK, Machine from the USA, so there is a time zone difference there. And then the final match that's listed is the match between Mr. Bill and Paul, and that match is scheduled for Monday afternoon at 4:30. Now, as mentioned on that scrolling message, we have week 6 of the Saturday Night 9 Ball League going ahead tomorrow. I won't be there for that. Well, I will be there for that, but the only reason I will be there is because of the match between Popman and Spectre Dawn. I'm not in the league this week, and of course neither is Popman, because he's one of my team members on VP4 TV, so I'll be doing coverage of that match. So good luck to VP4 TV for that when it starts. Hope everybody shows up. And then, of course, the other information is that as of tomorrow morning once I've finished my shift. I will be off until a week on Monday, so the upcoming matches from there on next week, it won't really matter what time they're at as long as I know that they're on. I should be there for them. So that's one benefit of having a week off. It doesn't matter about time, morning, noon or night. I will be there. I'll do everything to get there to get as many of these matches as we can. So the other bit of information also is I had a quick look a minute or two ago. It's probably not changed, but Friday night 9-ball. Let me just go the other way. Where is it on the thing? Let me find it. Hang on. Blah 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 blah. Where is it? It was there a minute ago. Now I can't see it. We're looking at it. There it is. Friday night 9-ball. The last time I checked, and bear in mind that we are still a fair number of hours away. We're over 3 hours away before 4 hours before. Sorry, 4 hours it is before it's due to start, and there was already half a dozen players in. 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's still 6 players in, and of course only room for another 10 spots, and that's probably looking likely that it may well be full again for yet another week. So that is about where we stand. Fast Eddie's been in getting plenty of practice. Onepocketslim arrived about 10-15 minutes ago. He's been in a room, had a bit of practice, and looking at that, he's had enough. He feels as if he's warmed up enough, so he's sitting in away mode, just waiting for the room to go up. Right, so welcome to Bill. What's your prediction, Bill? Albie says 13-9 to Slim. So good morning to Bill. It's an early start. I don't know whether you were listening, Bill, but I mentioned earlier there that Steve said he was intending to be here this morning, but he's something else has cropped up, whatever it might be. He's changed his mind. He says he intends to be here for Friday night 9-ball because he wants to look at the break and see whether he notices any difference. I did remind him that Friday night 9-ball break is actually rack money. It's not the standard break. So rack money, the 9-ball is on the head spot, so the diamond is further up the table. And he's going to then see whether that makes any difference as well. I mean, it's always been rack money. Initially, when I asked it to be set up, it was rack money. So unless somebody actually changed something in it, it should still be rack money. Right, so we are about a couple of minutes away. Both the players are here, so no problem with the match going ahead unless the system breaks down. Touch wood, it won't. Now, I mean, a prediction here, there could be, I mean, Eddie's going to be the slight underdog in my book. I don't know whether he wants to try and match Slim in potting his way to victory, or whether he wants to try and frustrate Slim. Slim, I think, generally a lot of the time he'll go for his shots. Safety will come into it, I would expect, because he's a pretty good all-round player, so they'll get sensible heads on their shoulders. So, we expect all the aspects of the game to come into play. And of course, with no jump cues, it's who's going to kick better, who's going to get luckier on the safes from that point of view. So I reckon, at a push, I would say 13-9 from Albinario might not be far off it for Slim if it goes according to what it might be on paper. Although Cobra, good afternoon, thinks it's going to be a much wider margin than that. I think that might be a bit too generous to Slim, especially if Fast Eddie can live up to his name and get off to a quick start. Maybe punish a couple of mistakes from Slim, get a couple of racks on the board. You never know. it then makes it interesting. Well, I'm finding this difficult to call because I wouldn't be surprised if Fast Eddie won it. It wouldn't be a shock because he's more than good enough. And I think he's one player who doesn't really, I think, play an awful lot of these, and it's a chance for him to go through. But because also, if the likelihood that Cobra overcomes Popman, then both of these players will fancy their chances in the next round of the one-loss side if it goes the way everybody expects it to go, and Popman comes through from that match. So they've got an incentive, if they want one, to march on in this tournament. So we are now just about there. It's just gone the top of the hour, and we are ready to go.
Here is a suggestion I have had for a long time in VP4, allowing us...
That's not the one. It's that one. I think it's that one. Hang on a minute, I'll find the button. It might not be there. In fact, that's the wrong bloody screen I'm on now. Hang on. So, Onepocketslim on the right hand side of the screen as we look.
You are watching VP4 TV. This is our first match today on the one-loss side. It's a race to 13 racks between two guys from the States, Fast Eddie and Onepocketslim.
Right, so Eddie won the lag, and usual result, dry break. I take it the stream quality is okay, there's no complaints. Just let me know. So Slim has called the safety. Looking to duck away behind that rack of balls there, but he hasn't quite got it. And Eddie has an incentive here for a 1-3 combo. 2-ball is going to be a big problem. My donut's gone in the blink again. Hang on. That's better. Yeah, 2-ball you can get to as long as you're up here. So he hasn't called a 3-ball. He's not interested in the combo. He's trying to duck away, and this looks a good pace. That's a good shot.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
The pace is good, but there is a line to get to that 1-ball. Oh no, he's caught the 4, and that little touch of the 4, I don't think has it made a big bit of difference. It might have. It's made it a bit tighter. I don't know whether you can get enough of that 2-ball without fouling the 4. It looks pretty tight. Now Eddie, with ball in hand, I think he's got to convince himself he can get there. Maybe, I mean, if you were here, you could maybe just tweak that with a bit of left, but it's really, really close, and I don't think he fancied it either. And now it's definitely dead. I mean, if something hits that 4 onto the 2, it's a combo. And if Slim can pick a line to catch the right side of that one as we look at it, then that 2 might go in. I would be calling the 2 here. Although the obvious thing is the 1's the ball on, but I think I would have been calling the 2 just in case I got lucky. Anyway, we'll never know. Past Eddie looking for 3 fouls here. He's got to get really tight. Now that is a big target to hit that 1 ball. I mean, it's a big target. I would expect Slim to hit this. And of course, a chance of it going in down the rail. It might catch a sliver of the 2 ball, but there is a chance it could go in. No. Now, what's that? Is that... Aye, that's the 3rd foul. That's the 3rd foul. So, Eddie gets a good start. The break goes to Slim. And Slim has the 8 ball in the break, and it's going to have to be the 1-2 combo. Welcome to Vince says. So Slim with a pretty good table here. Quick look at this 5 ball. 5 ball is off the rail. And as long as he can get up the table to that right side, I think you maybe need to put a bit of left English in this. Well, he's tried to use the 6 ball. Well, I mean, he's got an angle in the 4, but I mean, it's a big distance for this cue ball to travel. And again, he's got to watch the line that the cue ball's coming off that top rail, because it sort of wants to go right like that, and he might end up on top of the 5. Now that shot there, to make sure that cue ball kept a better line, he really should have played it with a bit of left English, but that would have made that pot even much more difficult. So now he's got to get the kick. I feel he's got to get it, because if this 5 ball ends up still on, and in it goes.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Problem now with that is he's got no definite shot on the 6, so he's having to try and duck for cover. What is it? He still said it, Vince. What have I missed out? What, is this a different Vince, or am I getting mixed up or confused? Well, Slim's got Eddie in trouble. Well, all Vinces look the same to me. Well, who the hell is Vince then when he's at home? He put in an O in the middle of his name so you'd stop pronouncing it as Vince says. Well, what the hell's his name then? Vincey Oz. Because you always call me Vince says. Well, how do you want me to pronounce it? Vince Oz? That looks even bloody more confusing. Anyway, more important things at hand here. Slim looking to tie the match up. Break goes back to Eddie. Or just Vince. I still prefer Vince says. Why change the habit of a lifetime? Or why is it spelt? Why was it ever spelt Vincez in the first place? It's Vince says. Push out played. Ball in the break though, which was a 7 ball, but again, you would think whoever gets this 1 ball has got to be out. Now here's a chance for Slim to lock Eddie up here. So is it Vince Z karaoke then? Is that what it is? Well, Eddie has a combo to start him off here, and if this 1 ball, well, the 1 ball's not only stayed in play, it's gone in after the 2, and he's lying plumb on the 3 ball. And perfect opportunity here that has to be put away here for Eddie. This is the thing we talked about, or I talked about in one of the other matches about this stage in the tournament. When you're in this stage of the tournament, whether you be winner side or the one-loss side, when you have tables like this, they've got to go. You can't go messing stuff like this up. This is meat and drink if you're a contender for this tournament. You must deal with these and put them away. Welcome to Paul. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the hell your name is if you're not in the tournaments. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Vince Z. Bullshit to that. Vince says. That's how it reads. I like to pronounce names phonetically. I mean, I could start saying Cobra. Cobra. Bedhead Swi. That's how I'll pronounce him from now on. Bedhead Swi. Well, this is good so far from Eddie. Doing what's required. And a straight in 10 ball to go back into the lead. So the narrow break again from Slim. Very narrow. 5 ball goes in though. Oh, that 1 ball just got an edge off the 2, which has actually helped Slim as far as being able to pot that one. But he's immediately got problems. The 2 ball is awkward. The 3-9 are very tight to be making the combo, but I think even with that 7 ball there, that 9 ball has to go in. I mean, it's even if it goes to the rail and bumps out, it's got to go in. I don't think there's any way you're missing that. The question is, though, is what does Slim do? Does Slim play the 2? I mean, this could get really ugly very quickly here because he can't really. I mean, he could use the 7 to knock the 2 in, but then again, he's thought different. He's looking at the 10. The same thing though. If he's going for the combo, that if he catches the knuckle there, it's got to go in off the 7. Oh dear! Well, he called it, and then he decided. He thought better of it and decided to play safe because he certainly didn't make any good effort at potting the 10, and he left the 2 ball in play, and now he's in trouble. Well, that's a strange call there by Slim. I mean, he calls the. Why didn't he go 100% for it? Because now he's got himself in bother. And the only thing that's saving his neck here is the fact that the 10 ball's now locked up in the 9. That was a bit weird. Oh no, it's bad enough having bloody Chico and Jose yabbering away in Spanish. Now we've got 2 Swedes with all sorts of bloody funny words. Well, this is a chance for Eddie to put Slim in a lot of trouble here. I don't know whether he can from that position though. Well, he's got the cover. So, at the moment, Eddie's dictating the play here. Well, now that has suddenly got very ugly here for Eddie. And one thing is that the control of the table has immediately changed here. Because even if Eddie hits this, and Slim can get clean onto the 3. Now, how the hell do you get out of here? Now, that's a clever little shot, but once again, he hasn't got the cover, and I think this edge will cut in, and now things are going to get broken open here. In fact, it might be so thin he might not catch any of the 10. Well, he has deliberately tried that. And of course, the 7 ball is going nowhere there. Tag, it looks like Lag, Tror, Lag, Barra, R, 6, 7, R, Aldry, and Bedhead, Sadet, Cans, into. That doesn't look Swedish to me, that looks German. That's weird Swedish, that. I don't think that's holding the line. But of course now this rack is dependent on what happens with the 7 and 8. Well, I think that was a genuine attempt at the pot there. Now Eddie, once again, if he's brave enough, can get this cue ball onto the 10 ball here. I think it looks weird. Well, I think I would have went for the lock up in the 10 personally, because well, Slim's played the bank, and if he can get anywhere decent on this 6 ball and get a line, well, he's went all out for the bump on the 8 ball, and that's why Eddie should have locked Slim up, because Slim's going to take chances like that. He's left himself really, really tough on this 6 ball, but I'll tell you, if it goes in, Eddie's going to be kicking himself. He had a good opportunity to nail that cue ball there. This is why you've got to keep things tight. You don't want to give any encouragement. Slim's going to take these risks, and okay, he might not come off successful all the time, but Well, he's went for a blast on the 6 there. And this is going to keep spinning. And Eddie eventually does come out on top. So we can have daylight early on in this match. Where's the cue ball ended up though? Oh dear. Look at the space in the table, and he finds himself right on the 8 ball almost. Well, he's got to kick that off the rail. I don't know whether he's... I mean, this is not going that way, is it? Oh, he just caught it. That was excellent.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
I think I'd have went from the side rail, but he got the spin. Got the edge. It was well done. The only Swedish I ever knew was was the chef in the Muppets. remember the Swedish chef in the Muppets? Because I just then imagined that all Swedes were the same. That was how they used to kill it. He never ever used to say any sort of words that were just noises, and that's what Swedish sounds like to me. So Eddie has a 3-1 lead here. And once again, if he can get this control in the case, just juiced it again, I think. He's okay, but he's going to have to jack up here to come away from that 6 ball. He's got to get into the cue ball. And, well, I think he doesn't want to be... I don't think he wants to get greedy here. He could have tried to pinch a bit and stun across the other side of this 7. He's finished dead straight. That's the problem. Pretty much dead straight. He can push through as far as he can with the angle he's got if he's brave enough. Maybe a wee bit of spin, get up past the 9 ball. He can work with that. He's got to miss the 9 though. He's got to miss it. Oh dear. Well, that was the only worry, that he didn't have enough to work with. And he needed to hit that a lot harder. And from looking at like opening up a 3-rack gap, unless he can get the hit and get lucky, Slim should deal with these, you would expect. Well, this might go to the short rail. He'll settle for that. He'll settle for that. That's the sort of lucky roll that you need. Is there enough in this? Is there enough of that 8 ball that it will cut? I think it might. You know something? I think it will cut. No, he didn't get enough of it. So a second attempt here for Eddie. Now just, I don't know, plain ball. I mean, plain ball will work. It's all just about the pace. And then he's just gone a wee bit too far for comfort. So now he's got to make a choice here. This would have been far easier just straight in. He's gone over, he's fine. And like I said earlier before this match started, if Eddie can get a good start, it then makes it a very interesting match, and you couldn't ask for a better start than this. A 4-1 lead. He's not thrown away any opportunities yet when he's had them. And Slim's got work to do. 2 ball in the break. Did something else go there as well? I think something else went also. The 2's gone, the 6 is gone, and he's got no real shot in the 1. And again, Slim being attacking. Well, he's calling the safety, trying to duck behind the 5 and whatever that is up there, the 4 ball. And it's a big target. You'd expect him to get there. And that's well done. So Eddie has, I think, called the 1 ball into the side. I might be wrong. But he hasn't got the hit. So now, under a bit of pressure, Slim has ball in hand. They're all there. And we expect him to get out to reduce the deficit. Well, he's got to get away from this 4 ball clean, which he can do. You know, if he had gone the wrong side of that 4, he'd be interfering with the 5 ball. He didn't want to do that. And he's now high enough on this 7 to comfortably pot it. Now, the rule here is get this cue ball anywhere in this area. He doesn't want to be running down here too far. He wants to just be in this big area here, preferably someone like that. Well, he's gone a couple of rails. He's letting it run. I think the pace is fine. He can just drop it in dead weight. He'll have no problem. So Slim's completed his part of the deal. Got the good safety, got the reward, and got the job done. So, unfortunately for Slim, the break goes back to Eddie. And Eddie's break, like many before, and many still to come, is dry. And that 6 ball, again, is a problem. So you would think that if Slim pots the 1, gets the 2, it's going to have to be some sort of 3-7-6 combo. Because the 6 ball isn't getting moved from there, but it's pretty much dead set as a combo, so that's what it's going to have to be. He's having a look at it. And the problem with that, though, is that the pace that he plays it at, this 3 ball's going to be played off the 7. The 3 ball's going to go that way. He has to play it soft enough where he can still see the 3 ball, and this 9 ball could be a problem. I'm not so certain that that was the best way of doing it. It's strange that he didn't play the combo, because now he's playing a cut on the 3, and he's got to get exceptionally good, and that's a disaster. Well, that's all went pear-shaped, because I think he should have got rid of this with the combo and played it right to keep the 3 in play, because now he's in the usual place without a paddle here, and that could be a big mistake from Slim. Well, he's got the hit, and the end result is pretty good as well. Well, the 3 goes, but I was never doubting that the 3 would pot. What I was doubting is how is he going to deal with the 6 and 7? And if he had dropped through onto that 3 ball and played the 3 onto the 7 and 6 and kept the 3 in play, then he was in a far better shape to try and finish the rack. Well, now that's changed things completely again. Eddie has got the kick. He's got it safe. And Slim's having to kick as well now. And look at what's happened with the 7 and 8. I mean, they're now dead. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not convinced that the way that he went there with that situation. I mean, put it this way. He could have had this rack won right now if he'd gone for my choice and kept the 3 ball in play. That's the way I see it. So now Eddie's got ball in hand, and he must have some sort of angle on this 6 where he can get a bump. And, well, Eddie's at the table, and that's all that matters. He's got at least first shout at trying to open this gap again. And he's gone pretty straight. Now, this is dangerous because this is too straight, and it could go in off the 8 ball, this cue ball. He's got the bump. Oh, it's finished perfect. Now a little dink, and this is all about touch. He just wants to come out and be looking down the barrel in that 9 ball. Maybe with some sort of angle would be handy. Or a bit like that where he can just roll through. He's heading up towards the side pocket. He's not going to scratch. He just needs to make sure he goes far enough up so he's comfortable playing this back into this bottom right hand corner. Nope, he's jacking up. Well, I would have let it run, because, I mean, that was a simple one. And now he's got a wee bit of angle to read here. I would have just let that roll through. I mean, it was just as simple to do that than it was to kill it. And now he's got to trust his eyes here. And in it goes. Well, I think that rack all went wrong from Slim's choice of shot there, and the ultimate proof of that, the ultimate proof is it's 5-2 to Eddie, and not, I mean, it's a 2-rack swing. That's basically it. So the break from Slim has given him the 4 ball. He's got a very tight, thin cut in the 1. And of course, with the angle that he had, he was only ever going to be going across the table and back across. And this 2 ball, well, it's tight. It's tight at that distance. And he's just caught the 6. And suddenly the pressure is stacking up tenfold for Slim here, because Eddie now 2 ball, and then it's from the 5 to the 6, and I think he might have overcooked that big time. That is really poor. I mean, he's got all the room in the table there, and to put the cue ball there is shooting yourself right in the foot. There's no way on earth they should have been anywhere near that 3 ball like that. And silly mistakes like that, you don't want to be sitting at the end of this match thinking about that type of shot. Well, I wouldn't be so hasty, Cobra. If you see the type of shot that Eddie's just played there, I wouldn't be so hasty, because if he does any more of this kind of stuff and starts getting punished for this, you know, it's going to give all the encouragement that Slim needs to get back into this match. But he's played a good safety though. The end result is good. Now, I mean, you can see the edge of the 3. Stubb would have a blast at this every day of the week. Stubb would slam this. He wouldn't give it a second thought. Cue ball bouncing all over the place. He wouldn't be caring. He'd just be blasting this to get it in the hole. Now it might go in off the 9. I don't know whether he's contemplating that. No, he certainly didn't blast it, and he certainly didn't get it thin enough. Well, it's going to be a 3-ball rack here. If this 3-ball goes in, whoever gets it is going to win the rack. Well, having said that though, this 8-ball is not in a pretty position. And what's he done here with this 10-ball? Well, it's not a combo. The nudge in the 10. And an easy safety. And Slim is very much back against the wall here. Yeah, I think there was a doubt in that as well, here, Pig, about whether he could get enough of that. But you know, I know that Stubb would have looked at that 5. Was it the 5-ball? He would have slammed it to catch it really thin and get the pace on the cut. But anyway, can Eddie see the 6? Oh, that is way too tight. I think I'd be punching that around the angles and ducking behind the 7. No way I'm convinced I could get to that to pot it. But my eyes are not reliable. Oh well, it went in clean every day of the week. But here we go. Here's the big problem. How does he get onto this? I mean, he can go forward. He could end up hooking himself behind the 10 here. And he's trying to get there. Now Slim's got the same problem. But it's vital now that Slim can find a way to get this done. I mean, the angle on the 7 looks good enough to come back to the rail. I think he can cut that thin and miss the 9. It's just got to be dead weight pace to get it onto this rail. Well, that's not exactly dead weight. He's certainly got the angle to come out for the 9, no problem. And it's off the rail enough that he doesn't want to push it to that knuckle. Oh, I think he's overdone it. He's overdone it. Now, yeah, he's going to be able to chip that in. But he's got to watch the cue ball. I mean, overhit this. Make sure it goes up and down and comes back into the table. Oh, it's going to go in the narrow side. It needs to bounce. And that will do. Now again, pot this 100%. There's not many places in the table you can leave the cue ball where you don't have a cut on that 10 ball. So he's potted it dead weight. And this is grim reading for Slim. It's now 6-2. And Fast Eddie's break has given him at least a couple of balls in the break and a shot in the 1. The 2 ball has gone, the 6 has gone, he's on the 1. And once again, if he can get back onto this 3, this rack's over. He's got to miss the 7. He's got to miss the 7. The commentator's eye calls it again. And now he's going to have to duck for cover nice and thin and head up towards that, whatever hell ball it is up in the top right, the 9 ball. That's where he wants to be heading. As thin as you can, just an edge. See, even that's too thick. but he's got the distance. And I would still settle for that, even though I think Slim can he get enough of that to cut it? I don't think he can. I don't think he can get it. So it's a good shot. And Slim needs to tighten this up. He needs to do something to find his way back into this. He's simply got to come out on top in this rack. Now, is Eddie going to be risking a bank? I mean, the bank is there. It's certainly got to be made big time. Or can... Let me have a look and see whether he can see enough of it. I think he can. Yeah. Well, if this goes and he can see that 4 ball, that's a big bonus. Oh, he's well narrow. So that's going to be a missed call, and he's probably going to be playing again, because I don't think... Let's have a look. Yeah. Slim couldn't see any of the 4 ball, so Eddie's been put back in. And now the scratch has gifted Slim a fairly straightforward opportunity here to at least nip 1 back. Got a meeting in 6 minutes. That's unfortunate. So this is going to ease a bit of the pressure on Slim, but the pressure's still stacked on him because it's his break next. And he has to deliver. He needs to find a break and run when it really matters. Well, everything's went great so far, as the scoreboard would suggest, for Eddie. There's no way he could have thought he'd have been 6-2 up, or at least 6-3 up at this stage. But Slim, if he can get a ball and a shot and get a decent break, I mean, the balls should break decent enough, but he's got to try and break and run. And it ain't happening. And that's a big pocket up the top there where the 7 ball is. And Eddie can get to the 1, I think. I think he can see it. Yeah, and he can get enough of that to cut it. And he'll be on the 2, no problem. The problems are ahead in this rack. 2 to the 3 shouldn't be an issue, but then the big problem is the 4. But he can certainly duck off that 4 ball if he isn't anywhere near good in it. Well, he actually played it to... I think it was maybe tight to get enough of that ball. And the danger with this shot is that if Slim goes too tight to that 1 ball, like there, he could scratch off it. If he gets really lucky, he could push the 1 ball behind the 7 and leave the cue ball there, and have Eddie in trouble. Maybe there wasn't enough room to do either. Well, this is too tight to try and escape there. He's managed to do it. And again, that's got Slim in dire straits here. Dire straits for a number of reasons. It's so difficult to hit the 1. It'd be far better trying to tighten something up here or lock something else up. The problem though is he's asking for 3 fouls here. This is going to play right into Eddie's hands. If Slim's going to try and hit it, I think he's got to put a lot of right on it. Yeah. Well, the one thing he's done is he's sort of opened the ball slightly and then gathered them again. Now, what does Eddie want to do here? Because the 4 ball is just as much a problem, but if he plays the 3, if he plays the 2 and the 3, he's got a 4-7 combo here. He needs to be looking at that before he makes a move. Well, he's decided he's going down the 3 foul route. Now, is this the second foul or the third? I've lost track already. If he misses this, this is 2 fouls, I think. Somebody's got to be paying attention. Yeah, that's 2 fouls. So now Eddie's in a dilemma. What does he do? Does he grab the bull by the horns, pot the 1 and 2, go over for the 3, and then play the 4-7 combo? I don't think he'll get a better opportunity than this. He's got to believe in his own ability to do these. Now, where he is now with the 3 ball isn't great. He wants to get a better line in the 3 ball than where he is there for the 2. And, well, I think if he just nurses this 3 ball in, takes all the pace off the cue ball, he'll have a decent enough line, and I don't think he could have finished any better than that. If he stood there and put the ball right on the spot. Now he needs the 4 ball to stay in play, and there's a strong chance it will because it's fairly straight on. And again, he's not interested. Now, is he going to regret this? I mean, sometimes when you refuse those type of shots, it's telling the other guy that you're not confident enough to get the job done. It's sending out the wrong messages. I mean, I think a lot of players left in this tournament would have went for the combo there, and to get out. But it might work in Eddie's favour. He's got a nice little gap between the 10 and the 9 to get on that 5. He just needs to dink the 4 in. And he may well come out on top after all. Yeah, the worry would be about... I mean, the 4 onto the 7 was fairly straight, so it was unlikely that the 4 ball was going to leak away too far. Well, I think Eddie's just as nervous as Slim. Eddie's more nervous even with a 6 racks to 3 lead. The fact that he refused the combo. But anyway, what's happened has happened. The more important thing is Eddie's at the table with a gilt edge opportunity to stretch this lead. So you pot this, go forward off either 1 or 2 rails, depending on what angle he's really got in this 8 ball. He just needs to get anywhere over on the right hand side. He's digging down. Yeah, that's fine. He was able to hold it. And now make your choice. Pot the 9, stun across for the 10 into the side, or come back and leave it long. It's a straightforward choice, because either way you've got a pocket for the 10 ball to go in. And this is a major crisis now for Slim. Major problems. And we've not seen anybody, not one person has come back from this deficit and won one of these matches. So Slim's chances are, well, living up to his name, Slim. So 7 racks to 3. Fast Eddie. 7 ball has gone in. 2 ball decides to follow in. 8 ball decides you ain't going to see the one. It's blocked him off. And, well, again, Eddie's got to be really careful here where he's playing the push out. Does he want to leave? Does he want to leave a possible bank on here for Slim? Does he want to give him some bait? Because these balls are wide open. It's a 1 ball rack again. The 1 ball goes in. Whoever gets it should be out. I mean, I think there's anybody that's seen Eddie playing over the years. I mean, he's more than capable of giving a match to a lot of players. I think it's having confidence in his own ability that's more the problem. I think it's that's really what it's down to. Just the nerves getting the better of him in these sort of situations. Even with a 7 racks to 3 lead. The one thing he doesn't want to start thinking about is the finishing line, because all he should be paying attention to is the table. Well, Eddie's saying in the chat there to Slim, did you see me call safe? He says, weird, I called push, then safety, and it said safe on my end. Reverted to the push. I'll let you guys explain that one to Steve. So anyway, Slim at the table, they're all on. And the immediate problem here is a little dink in the 3 to make sure he doesn't block himself off in that 4 ball. Well, I'll tell you, he's on it. The one thing that's good about this rack for Slim is it's his break next also, so again he's got a chance to narrow the gap and also narrow it even closer if he can come out with a good break, and he didn't do that the last time. He never got any joy on his last break where he was in this situation. It's got to happen right now. Well, now this angle he's got here is slightly troublesome. I mean, he can drop it into the side and drop down in the... He's playing it with right English, though. He's playing it with right English. And that's left him a fairly comfortable cut. He could have let that run. The only thing is he's running over to the narrower side. He was more comfortable holding it in the wide side and leaving the higher cut. So that's the first part of the deal done. He's got the run out. Back to within 3. And now, is he going to change his break? Because Slim's been breaking narrow. And he needs something to happen. Well, that 2 ball, oh dear. He had the ball in the break, the 8 ball is gone. He had the cut in the 1, and that's the type of things that happen when it ain't going to be your day. He's locked up in the 2. And now, of course, once again, this 1 ball is vital. Whoever gets it should have the rack. And that immediately puts the pressure on Slim to keep things tight. Now that one ball will bank. I think the two balls well out the way for the bank, and he's given a cut here for Eddie if he wants to take it, and I think he's called the 7. Yeah, he's called the 7. Well, that looks fine to me. It's gone to the rail nicely. But the only thing is,
the replay of that last shot.
The one ball's gone locked onto the short rail. Well, he's called the 1. Well, this will be some shot if this goes in. Loads of left, trying to chip the edge, and he hasn't got it. And so Slim, well, we know the deal. Ball in hand, get down onto the 2 ball, and he should be out. And there's just a hint that Slim could be getting himself back into this. And of course, the most important shot in the rack is from 5 to 6. 9 ball is a hindrance because it plays in your mind when you're playing the shot to get on this 6. Oh dear, that's a disaster. Absolute disaster.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That is a straight in 4 ball. And you cannot do that. And that is painful. And if you ever want a gift, Eddie, that is it right there. Big mistake from Slim. He's taken his eye right off the ball. I mean, he had nothing to do but pot the 4 and come back for the 5. And he's not even lined it up to the pocket. But that's now, you know, Eddie's played it in the safe side. He's leaving the big cut, so he's going up and down the table here. And the only thing he doesn't want to do is land right on top of this 9 ball. I mean, he could be gently cutting this and get up to the middle pocket, but he's got to go up and down. And the pace looks pretty good to me. And that is perfect. And this is going to hurt big time. So no sooner has the commentator said that Slim could be finding his way back into this match, and he goes and misses an absolute sitter and gifts the rack to Eddie. And that is going to be a painful reminder. I'll remind him at the end of the match. I'll tell you if it goes pear-shaped for him. What a miss. So, Eddie now back to a 4-rack lead. And Eddie's break in rack number 13. Oh, wait a wee minute, there is a little break here. Maybe a bathroom break or a coffee, because it's still just past breakfast time for these guys. So we'll have a little interlude until they're all set to go.
You are watching VP4 TV. This is our first match today on the one-loss side. It's a race to 13 racks between two guys from the States, Fast Eddie and Onepocketslim.
So this match has been on for just over the hour. An hour and a couple of minutes for 12 racks. Race to 13. And the winner of this match will play the loser of Saturday night's match between Popman and Spectre Dawn. On the winner's side, the loser of that match comes through. Well, Eddie's back, Slim's ready. So here we go, rack number 13, Fast Eddie's break, leading by 8 racks to 4. Nothing doing. And not a lot other than the lock-up safety here from Slim. He could use that 5 ball as well. No, he's just trying to tuck it dead. And that's probably about as dead as it could be. Because I don't think there's any great way out there. So now, Eddie's got the choice. Again, he can try and tie a couple of balls up. But he's asking to be locked up as well if he does that. I think he's trying to bump the 3 to the 9. Yeah. So now Slim can go for the 3 fouls. And Slim's in total control here. So he's got to keep these really tight. Eddie knows what's coming. Now, what possibilities are there here? Well, he can get to the 1 if he goes in the gap with left ankle. Oh, tell a lie, he hasn't hit a rail. Well, that's a disaster. I never even noticed that. Oh, Slim's missed. Slim has missed a trick there. He hasn't got the ball to a rail. And now he's really going to be in trouble. And it's all going wrong for Slim at the wrong time. I was so busy looking at the possibilities for the 3-foul there. I took my eye off the ball myself. Now listen guys, Hair Pig and Interchange X. Just in case Interchange X hasn't noticed. I finish my work on Saturday morning, my time. It doesn't matter when you arrange your match. As long as I know it's on, I'll be there for it. I've got all of next week off, so don't worry about the time zone difference. If you set it for 7 PM your time and it's midnight my time or 1 AM my time, as long as I know it's on, I can set my alarm or whatever. So you can have it at a more suitable time for yourselves. In the meantime, we've got a battle here that Eddie, if he wins, is going to be in a really strong position. If Slim wins this battle in this rack, he's got a lifeline to hang in there. And Slim's missed a hit. Now Eddie, again another test of nerves here. No problem potting the 2, no problem potting the 3 and coming out for the 4, no problem with the 5. It's getting from the 5 to the 6. He's got to go for the kill here. And now he's looking at doing something crazy. He's going for the 2-10 combo. Well, Eddie's not trusted. He's not backing himself to get the job done. But he went for the combo. So there's been 2 incidences where the table is there to try and run out, but Eddie's refused it. You know, he's fortunate at the moment that he's got a comfort zone, but that comfort zone could narrow if he's not too careful. He's trying to be ultra cautious here to protect his lead, where he might be better and been a wee bit more aggressive. It just gives a sign to your opponent that you might be a wee bit vulnerable if it starts getting tight. I don't know, it's a difficult balance. And Eddie's in a bit of a dilemma. I mean, I don't know whether he'd looked at the table and found a problem, because I didn't really see a problem there. If you can trust in your ability to move the cue ball, you should be going for the run out. Now, the first time he refused the opportunity to leave that combo, remember earlier in the match, he could have left I don't know what it was a something 7-ball combo. He refused it, and at the end of it, the next couple of shots, he'd won the rack. If this goes his way as well, it's all going to look good, but he's sending out the wrong messages to Slim. Once again, though, he's at the table. He's in bedhead territory for the 3-ball, and now he's got to get lucky to get on the 4. Well, I mean, it's a question of whether you guys are of the same opinion as me. I mean, the table's there, and now he's missed the cut, and now he's scratched, and now he could end up looking like an umpty because he's refused that chance. Slim would never have turned that down. There's not many of the guys left in this tournament would have turned down that chance here to run out. You've got to have faith in your ability to do it. And to me, it sends out the wrong message. What sends out the right message is grabbing that bull by the horns and saying, right, the table's there, the balls are there, I'm going for it. And I'm going to show you what happens when I'm given that chance. He's a bit too, I'm not going to say negative, he's protecting his lead. But he's got to remember he's still got what, 5 racks to get to win this match. And Slim is not going to turn down those chances. What Slim's got to cut out is the stupid mistakes that he's made. None more so than that straight in ball that he rattled in the jaws. I think it was a 4 ball. He's got to cut all of that crap out. But if he does, and he starts nailing things, then Eddie's going to start to get nervous. Now, having said that, Slim's doing his best to try and get himself in trouble. He's got to move this cue ball big time here. Get it right out into the table. And that will do. Now, he doesn't want to nail himself to the rail. He doesn't want to be there. That's the worst place he could be. Oh, now, and he's dead straight in the 8 ball. I think he can only go forward. He can only see the top of the cue ball. He can only go forward and leave a big long cut in this 9. He's bound to be on the 10, but it's all going to hinge on the 9 ball. No point in looking at any other alternatives. Just a roll through and try and open up this angle as much as you dare. That's about as good as he could expect. And again, it's got to be more or less sort of pocket weight so that the weight of the cue ball brings it back into the middle of the table, again, to open up the potting angle in the 10. And if he can get that done, he's back to within 3. Well, Eddie, I hope you don't live to regret these choices you've made. For your sake. A wee bit of encouragement from the crowd there. They always like to see the underdog or the guy that's losing getting back into it. Totally impartial, the crowd. And Slim's break has given him the 8 ball, but no shot. And he can't get a roll in the break, which is what he needs to give him some sort of momentum. He's not getting any help from the break. Nothing's went right for him as far as that goes. But if this starts to narrow a bit more in Slim's favour, I fear for Eddie's nerve when it comes down to the wire if it heads that direction, because the signs are not great. The signals that he's sending out are not great. If he can fall over the line, it won't matter at the end of the day, but you don't want to live to regret these type of choices you make. Now, he's going to bump the 1 to catch the 5, and he hasn't got enough of it. He hasn't got enough of it. So, Slim's just got to be really gentle. He's just got to hold the 1 there. And look at the table. The biggest problem is going to be from the 4 to the 6. And that 10 ball and 7 ball are a big hindrance. That's the one that's going to make or break the rack. The shot from that 4 ball down to the 6. Oh, now. Well, he's already dead in the water. He's already dead. That bump in the 4 has done him absolutely no favours whatsoever. That 3 doesn't go. Well, Eddie's got to go across the table for the kick. Well, again, I thought he was thinking going to the short side just to bump it. He's got to go for the kick. That's certainly not the line to be taken. Oh, he's gone narrow. And now things are beginning to just mount on Eddie a wee bit. No panic stations yet. Slim's having a good look at the 6 ball. Let's have a good look at it as well. It's off the rail. I just think that the major thing playing in your mind with this table is that 10 ball and also the 7. You know, you've just got to play the shot and try and get this right up in the top rail. I think he's got a good enough line to get there. It's all about the pace. If he underhits it or overhits it, he'll be right behind the 10. Oh, again, he's put top right on it to try and get there, and that's why he's missed the 4. I don't know. I'm not convinced he needed an awful lot of right on that. I think he needed really just to go forward. Maybe a tiny feather of it, but he's juiced it up there, went right inside to the rail with all the English he had in the cue ball. And, well, he's left nothing easy, but I'll tell you, Eddie has got to watch the scratch here. He's gone for the bank, and he's called it. Now, how's his luck? It ain't there. 10 ball was always going to be the major problem for either player. So you can see the right side of the 6 ball, but can he get away from it? Oh, this is horrible where this 6 ball's finished for Slim. I mean, does he go all out? No. And he needs to watch the double kiss here. The big danger is the double kiss. Well, he's called the 6 in the corner, but I don't believe... I mean, he had called the safety, now he's called the 6 in the bottom left-hand corner. Well, this is all or nothing for this rack. It ain't there, but he'll settle for that. So now, that roll of the cue ball, putting Eddie in trouble, gives Slim the chance he wants. Little draw up the left-hand side, I would think. No, he looks as if he's going forward to come up the left-hand side. 6 and half a dozen, whatever you're comfortable with. The only thing this time is that if Slim can take this out, Eddie is now under pressure. This needs to keep running. It needs to keep going. And he's going to have to put a little bit of left on it. Not a lot. He just needs to encourage the cue ball to hold the path across past the side pocket and leave the cut. That'll do. So now Eddie has been asked a question. Slim is going to be back to within 2. The break with Fast Eddie. And the 6 ball has gone in. The 2 ball follows it in. No real shot in the 1. I mean, that will thin cut down the rail. And the one benefit of that would be that there's a strong chance you'll see the 3 and might be able to punch it around. Or at least lock the cue ball behind the 5. Well, he's called the safety. Now, Slim, not a great safety by Eddie. The nerves are showing. Well, that bump in 8 ball hasn't helped him. So now it's just a little brush in a 3 past the 5. He doesn't want to hit the 5, he just wants to brush it past it. And he's brushed it too heavy, and he's left the pot. Now, is Eddie going to be brave this time? Because he needs a bit of right to miss the 8 ball. I think that 8, is that 8 ball in play? I don't think it is. I think if he plays this and gets it pocket weight with a bit of right, he's got to give himself some sort of shot in the 4, either the bank or the cut. I think the cut's on. He's going to be running into the 9. He's got to bump this firm to make sure the 9 gets out of the way. He doesn't want to be gentle. He's got to hit this firm. He wants that 9 to get out of the way. And he's got to be on the 5. You don't want to nursemaid this in. If you do that, you could be asking for trouble. And that was the right shot. That was the right shot. The 9 ball had to get well out of the way. And again, the angle in the 5 is fine. He's got to be confident enough. And again, he's played it in the short side of the 7. He could have come across. But he's got a nice angle, so it's all about pace. Just got to trust the pace. And that'll do very nicely. And this will ease the pressure a little bit. And it will open that gap to 3 again. So Slim breaking off, still keeping it narrow. Loads of balls moving, but none heading to a pocket. Once again though, this is a pot here for Eddie. Now, if he just runs through, he'll open up onto the 2-4 combo. Nice little gentle roll. Keep the 2 ball where it is, or where the 4 ball is. And a great chance to get to double figures. Oh, I think he's still okay. He'll use a fair chunk of that 8 ball just to stay there, but he's gone inside maybe a bit more than he would have liked. Oh dear, he's actually filled the 8. And that's a disaster. Table at his mercy.
And 1.
Now, it's got to be the 8-10 combo. 7 ball wide open. No reason not to get on it. And this 8-10 combo is unmissable as long as you're on a good line on the 8. The knuckle could come into play. So, vital shot coming up. Played it with a bit of inside again. He's just gone a bit too heavy. Oh, this could have been a lot easier than this. So he's got to just send that 8 ball to where the donut is. And he's still got an extension left. So Slim back to within 2. Eddie now has Slim not quite breathing down his neck, but again under pressure on his break. The unforced error by Eddie in the last rack has cost him. And the cue ball trying to get pushed in there by the 2. It's dry, but it's safe. And I think once again, with the way this table is set up, well, there is a poor one from Eddie. That is really poor. The way this table is, Slim won't have a better chance than this to get right down Eddie's neck. Oh, he's brushed the 2, but he's fine. Because these balls are all there. And is it going to have to be the 2-5 though? Because I thought that 2 would go and it doesn't. It most certainly doesn't go. It's going to have to be another combo. Again, played it perfect. So now, go forward to the rail. Maybe a wee bit of help and spin. And he can come out to the right side. He's just got to be careful of the scratch on the right side pocket. He's actually decided he's not even risking that. I think he checked that up a little bit to make sure he wasn't heading to the pocket. But that will do. So, there's a couple of big shots to come up here. Even with all the room that there is at the table, there's still a couple of big shots. The first one's from the 6 to the 7. Because he wants to have an angle where he's not having to run around corners or anything. He just wants to come back into the table. Well, he's left this a big distance here. But his troubles aren't over once he gets this done and gets to the 7. He's digging in. Again, he needs to be watching the pace. Now, if that keeps going, that's not bad. He's inside the 7, which is fine, because again, he's got a choice. He can go forward, or he can come back off it. But the safest way is just running forward with good weight to get on the 8. So this is now the critical one, to get from the 8 to the 9. But it's not just about being able to pot the 9, it's having a nice shot to be comfortably coming up for the 10. It looks so easy, and yet it can all go wrong. So he's a bit straighter than he would have liked, so now he's putting right on this. He needs to watch the 10 ball. And, well, that's one way of doing it. Because that, with another ouncer running on it, was a scratch almost. And now he should be fine. There's not a problem here. And the problem now is, Eddie, that Slim is within one, and it's Slim's break, and Slim only needs one of these breaks to start working, which they haven't done for him in this match so far. He's not had a break, I think, with a shot and any great chance to do anything after it. But if he's going to get one working for him, if it happens right now, it will do him a world of good. 3 ball, no. Oh, and again, not only has it come up dry, no, it hasn't. He's got 8 of the 7 ball. I never noticed the 7 ball going in. Well, it's a start. He's got the 1 and 2, and it's going to have to be a 3-8 combo unless he starts trying to do something crazy to get right up behind the 3 to play it long. Down to this, into this bottom right hand corner, that'd be a bit crazy, wouldn't it? Well, again, he's checking it up just to try and leave the long combo, which was the sensible shot to play at the end of the day. Oh, he's pushed it. But he's left nothing easy. You think Eddie should have him in trouble, though. Oh, I don't think he has, though, has he? I think he has. Yeah, that's way, way too tight to try and catch an edge of that 3 ball. Well, Slim's giving it a good look. He thinks he can get it. Yep, he can, and what's more, it's ended up a cracking safety.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Wrong button. That's the one I wanted. See, I prefer this bug like this when I'm using that second camera. I prefer that bug when you look at them calling the ball from that angle rather than the top-down view. I like that. I wish Steve could put it in the game. Well, Eddie's missed a hit, and now probably the most important visit of the match, if you're Slim. You've got ball in hand, you've got an immediate problem getting on the 4 ball. Again, this is all going to hinge on the 4 ball. The 4 ball doesn't go past the 10, and of course it's blocked by the 6. So he's got to just run through far enough to get it in the side. Maybe bump the 10. So he's got a target to aim for. Well, now he's neither here nor there. He would have been better. I mean, the cue ball's running to the 10. He'd have been better hitting it hard enough to run to the 10, because then he was pretty straight into the side. So now, this 5 ball doesn't really go past the 8, and the cue ball's heading up table. And he could have blown himself out of the water here straight away. Oh, that 6 ball's going to be in the way. I think he's covered. Yep. Oh dear. Well, just when you thought that Slim had his shove, admittedly the 4 ball was really, really awkward to get to. But I think he could have made a better effort at getting better on it, running into the 10 ball. Why he didn't run onto it, I don't know. And this needs to keep coming out if you're in Slim's corner to try and leave it as awkward for Eddie as possible. And that's awkward enough, because looking at it from this side, there's no way you're cutting that into the left-hand corner as we look. Well, vital now that Eddie keeps this tight. He's called the safety. Question is where is he going, or what's he got in mind? I think he's now called the cut. Going all out for it, and well, he's left a thin sliver of a cut for Slim. The only thing he can do is cut it and run across the 2 rails, and at best he's going to have a 6-8 combo. That's about as good as he could hope for. So the most important thing with this is the cue ball. He's decided against it. In the end, I don't know what pocket he called. Well, the billiard is on. It's close enough and thin enough off that 5 ball to play the billiard onto the 10. Now, is Eddie contemplating it? I don't think he is. No. Now, again, I would have been playing the billiard every day of the week. I would have played the billiard. It was thin, but it was nice and thin enough to get a good chunk of the 10 to get that 10 to go in. From what I was seeing. And that's what can happen.
Let's watch a replay of that last
because
shot.
Slim has called the kick and he's kicked the 5 ball in, and now I don't think he's anywhere easier for this 6 ball. I mean, this is tough, but that's what happens when you start leaving kick shots for Slim, and you had the chance to billiard that 10 ball to get to double figures, and Eddie's struggling to get to double figures here. And I don't know whether he can get enough of that 6 ball for the bank. And the 9 ball's tight. But I think he's called the bank into the side. Good afternoon to Lard. Whoever that is, you're welcome. Well, this is not a comfortable shot. He's cutting it into the side. Oh, he's not done it enough though. And Eddie gets off the hook. Well, he's got to get it done this time. This 6 ball isn't difficult. And as long as you get enough pace to come back across inside the 9, he's fine. Well, he didn't let it run. He stunned it to the rail. And once again, with this shot, he's just got to be careful of the 10 ball, because the cue ball's heading over that side. Well, Slim was on the brink of squaring the match, but he got himself awkward in the 6. And Eddie's got a nerve jangler here. This is a big test of his bottle. Yeah, he's lining up the corner pocket shot. Make or break this one. And it's going to hold the line. Well, once again, Eddie, somehow or other, is protecting that lead. Slim just can't get on level terms. And we're now running out of racks. And the break goes back to Eddie as well. Four ball has gone in. And Slim should be in trouble. Eddie's got no shot in the 1, but he can lock Slim right up in the 9. He might not be playing that though. No, he's trying to run through to the 2 and 7. And what's more, he hasn't hidden enough of that 1 ball. Oh, that's just run far enough. Just enough. And no more. And not a difficult ball to hit. Now, ideally, he wants to kick this between the 2 and 7. And it hasn't worked out. And now Eddie is going to be in trouble. The only slight worry is the gap between the 2 and the rail. Oh dear. I don't think that was the best of efforts, because now Slim's going to be in trouble. Oh, that's what he has to. He has to make sure that he kills the cue ball stone dead. He looks as if he's going forward though. No, he isn't. He's going to kill it. And that was always going to be the outcome there. Oh, that was a great effort. A great effort by Slim. So, ball in hand for Eddie. Now, the biggest shot here is from the 3 to that 5. Because the 5 does go. You would ideally want to be somewhere down there to play it though. And now it's dead straight. So he's got to trust his control of the cue ball. This needs a good stun draw, but it looks as if at the moment, well, he's always lining up on the top of the cue ball as if he's going forward. Now he's coming back. And that's almost there. But having said that, the big stun, he's missed the 3. Again, if Slim can get his touch, he's got certainly good enough angle to get high enough up onto this 5. He's going the 2 rails, needs to miss the 7 though. Well, that hasn't done him any harm, I think, because that's now left him enough to pot the 5. But can he avoid the 6 though? Yes, he can. Now, he doesn't want to try and be too cute here with this 6 ball to get in the gap between the 7 and 9. He just wants to come into the table. And that's, again, the sensible shot to play. Because he's got loads of room to come out for the 8. Well, where's the cue ball going? Oh, total disaster. Oh, that's a shocker for Slim. And it's amazing how things can suddenly take a turn for the worse. He was looking at and back to within 1 rack, and he's gifted it to Eddie, and Eddie gratefully received. And now it's a 3 rack gap, and it's a 2 rack swing with 1 shot, and that's painful. Three ball goes in the break, shot in the 1. 2 ball on the left hand side. What the hell is that? Hang on a minute, that's better. Well, he's got to get to the long rail on the right. Oh, has he hit it? He has just hit it. Now, what about the 5 ball? 5 ball goes, and you just got to watch this pace in the cue ball. And that's fine. Well, that miss there, that scratch by Slim might have just handed this match at the end of the day. Have I got this all wrong? How come Slim's back at the table? Was that Eddie that scratched? Oh no, it's Slim's break, wasn't it? See, I shouldn't look at the bloody chat, because the next time I look back at the table, I've totally lost track of who's at the table. Oh, what the hell happened here? Of course, it was Eddie that won the rack, but it was Slim's break. That's where I've got confused. Well, nothing Slim can do with Eddie's break. Still 11-9. Eddie 2 racks away from surviving another round. Well, this one's dry. Oh, now that 3 ball might just bump the 1 into a nicer line. And well, it's a bit straight. But I think Slim will just come back enough to cut the 2. Oh, no. Well, that was a huge risk he took there. Having said that, though, he's finished nice enough in the 2 that the cue ball can find a gap and run up the table to have some sort of pot in the 3, either into the side or back down into the same pocket the 2 ball's going into. Well, he's gone and bumped into the 8. I don't know whether he planned that, but I'll tell you what, now that he's missed the 2, he'll settle for the outcome. Oh, now let's have a look at how much room there is there. Not a difficult kick. Now, is Slim calling anything? He just called the safety. But the 2 ball is on. And the 3 ball still tricky to get on. He's managed to get there. 4 ball on the right side rail. Well, not quite in the rail, but you know what I mean. And he's got too much action in the cue ball. That's killed it. And the bank isn't great either. So he's now looking to duck back behind this 3 summer balls here, the 5, the 6 and the 8. Cut the 4 down the rail. But he has to get cover. He's got a good chance of getting it. No, he's not taking the right line at all, but he's left it really, really awkward. There's no way he should have been running across into them. He should have played it the right way to get over behind them. So even that shot was a bit nervy. Well, this is awkward over the 8 ball. Chinese snooker, as we call it in snooker. And of course now, with Eddie having a shot in the 4, that is not a dead set combo, but it can be made. Look at the gap between the 5 and 6. Now, is Eddie going to be brave enough to go for it? That's the question. That's where I have my doubts. And he's certainly, well, he's given himself half a chance at it. So he's got to look at the 5 and be catching the 5 to cut across the 6 to make the potting angle. So from where he's sitting, he has to catch probably a third of that 5 ball to cut onto the 6. Played it well. 5 balls, very handy also. How is his positional play in the 7 going to work out? Angle's good. Come up the right side, miss the 9 ball. He should be on the 7 if he has the pace right. He's missed the 9 ball. He's got the pace pretty good. And he's looking at being on the hill. How's Eddie's nerves now, I wonder? I mean, this cue ball's coming out to the left-hand side every day of the week for a shot in the 10. He's digging in and holding it for the side. That works. So Eddie's nerve has held, and he's 1 away, and Slim breaking to stay in the match. Good afternoon or good morning to Rob. Well, 3 balls in the break for Slim, so he couldn't have asked for it. That's the best breast break of the match there for Slim.
Let's watch the
I don't know whether
replay
we'll
of that
catch
last
all of
shot.
that. No, we haven't. But that's the only time the break has really worked for Slim there. 3 balls in the break, sitting nicely in the 1, and he's gone and left himself dead straight in the 2. So now he's got a problem to deal with straight away. He's going to have to play the combo, and he has to be gentle so the 4 ball doesn't head towards the 8 ball. They've just got to be, again, pocket weight and no more. And that's, unbelievable. Pocket weight and no more. Look at the 5. I mean, he did everything right, but look at it. It is hung on the edge. And Eddie, well, there you go. Find your way down onto the 6. A pot in the 8 to get back up the table for the 10 for the match. And we are just short of 2 hours. It's an hour and 56 minutes at the moment. And so Eddie, get up the table, have the shot in the 10. Well, I wonder if Eddie will look back in this match. I mean, he's got there. He got there with his big lead that he built up. And Slim, well, he had his chance there. And that little combo that he had, that was a killer. But well done to Fast Eddie. He beats Onepocketslim by 13 racks to 9, which I think was the prediction that maybe not Cobra, somebody predicted that earlier on, but it was actually Slim that they predicted it for. I can't remember who it was, but I remember a 13-9 scoreline. But it actually turned out that Eddie got through. Now, I wonder if Eddie is going to be as tentative in his next match, because there's, I say, a couple of occasions where he didn't really go for it when he had the chance, and it's worked out in the end. He's got there, and he survives. Unlucky to Slim, and that was a killer, that combo at the end there. So, we now look down the bottom of the bracket on the 1-loss side, and we'll see that Fast Eddie has gone through. But like I mentioned earlier, maybe some of you guys weren't here earlier, but earlier on, Fast Eddie's now through, and he has to wait for a loser to come through from that winner's side, and the loser will either be Spectre Dawn or it will be Popman. And if we look at the tournament page, we'll see that the matches that remain on the schedule is the match tomorrow at 7 PM British Summer Time, 2 PM Eastern, 1 PM Central Time or Mountain Time, and whatever it is Pacific, because I can't be bothered working it out. And then, of course, we have Cobra against Machine on the 1-loss side. That'll be a good match to watch, and I'll be there for all of them. My last shift is tomorrow, and then I've got the next week off. I don't go back until a week on Monday, and so any matches I should be able to get now, because I don't want to miss any of them. They're all going to be good. So we've got Cobra and Machine on Sunday night at 7 PM. We've got Mr. Bill and Paul on the 1-loss side, and that is at 4:30 in the afternoon British Summer Time on Monday, and I will be there for that as well. What also to remember is that a couple of things. Don't forget that 2 PM Eastern, you're right enough. Don't forget that we have Saturday night 9-ball league matches. Week 6 is coming up, and that starts at 7 PM on Saturday. Now, I am not in my team on Saturday, and neither is Popman, because he's going to be playing Spectre Dawn at that time at 7 PM. That's when the league is on. So I'll be in watching that. I'll be keeping an eye how my team are doing on Saturday. And yeah, Cobra said, Eddie, go and watch the video. Go and watch the stream. There was a couple of times there you didn't quite go for the throat when we all thought you had the chance, but you got over the line. You got there. We'll give that to you, but there was just a little bit of sort of, well, I wouldn't say negativity, but just maybe the confidence wasn't there to try and get over the line. But there's a couple of times where I had my doubts, and one or two of the guys probably thought the same, that you should have been going for the killer chances during the racks. But anyway, it could have all backfired on you, though. That was a killer for Slim, that combo at the end there. That really was a killer. But well done. You're through. You play the winner of the loser of Spectre Dawn and Popman. So there's a fair chance it will be Popman going by paper. But look what Popman did to Larry. Don't forget that. So Cobra can't be taking things too lightly against Popman. If Popman's got his head screwed on and plays sensibly, then he might be giving Cobra a bit of a battle. But that's still to come. I'll have all of those matches. If you don't get to see them, you can't be there, then go to the YouTube channel, go to the playlist. They're all going to be there. I'll put this one on there as soon as I'm finished here. I will be back in 2 hours' time, or less than that, for Friday Night 9 Ball. Quick look. Let me bring the banners up. Because we had 6 in earlier on. Friday Night 9 Ball, you've got to be on the ball to get in it nowadays, because it's filling up rapidly. If I can find the damn thing. Where is it? There it is. There was 6 in earlier on. It might be slightly different. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in now. So there's a few spots still left, but get your name in quick if you want to be there. Now, Steve was supposed to be here earlier on. He let me know that things had changed and he decided he wasn't going to show up this morning, his time. But he says he intends to be here later on today for Friday Night 9 Ball. So he should be joining us. So I'm going to go and get my dinner, get something to eat, get a coffee, get ready for Friday Night 9 Ball. If I can find the thing in the screen. Hang on a minute to see if this works. That's it. There we go. We're all set for Friday Night 9 Ball. Steve said he'll be joining us later on. He wants to look at the break and probably try and write down a few stats. I don't know. But until then, thanks all for your company, guys. It's been early for you guys in the States. And I hope you can join us later on. So good luck to Cobra over the weekend if I don't see you before then. Good luck to Popman. Good luck to all the other guys for the upcoming matches. They're all going to be good. They're all going to be worth watching one way or another, because it only gets good from now on in. So I'll be here in a little while, and I'll bid you good afternoon, and we'll see you later.
Good night, ladies.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.